Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mountaineer Bushcraft and Survival Systems. It's a remarkably warm day here in this first week of February. Today we're going to go over digging tools and what uses you can have for them. Maybe you haven't given much consideration for your kit, but we're going to start out with something pretty small and simple today. This is a folding trowel. Had got this at Walmart. This one of them things that I'm not sure if you can still find. I haven't seen them at my local Walmarts for several years now. I think I only managed to buy two of these, one for me and one for my wife. Different reasons. Hers is handy for gardening, and I kind of got mine for a lightweight digging tool for one of my kits. And this thing is small enough to fit in your pocket. You can almost use this as a clip, but I wouldn't recommend it. Like slide that down into a pocket. But you see how small that is. However, for as small as it is, and we'll try to see where it locks in. It's remarkably durable. It's actually made quite well. But we're gonna take this down here to the creek right beside me here, and we're going to put it to use real quick, just for one basic task that this little guy can come in handy for. So stay tuned and meet you down at the creek. Here we got just pretty common average creek you'll find out here in this area. But if you need to procure some water, there's a way you can help get it, especially, if the water itself is quite dirty, got a lot of dirt and mud and other kinds of large material in it. And though this technique I'm going to do here is definitely not a complete filtration kind of system, you'll definitely still need to boil the water after procuring it from this, but this can help get your water, especially if it's questionable. There could be dead animals somewhere in it. So we'll take you over here real quick and get set up and get started on that. Okay. If possible, you want to try to get at least a couple feet back from the edge where your water's going to be. Recommend removing a couple inches, maybe even 3 inches of material off top to begin with. That will help in case some animal may have came and defecated in this area. So that might help remove that possibility. Now the goal is here, we're going to dig a hole, let the hole fill up with water. And yeah, you can do this with a digging stick, or, if you're desperate enough, your belt knife. But something this small, it's so easy to carry and it's made for the job. And we are not going to have to dig far to get water. But ideally, you want to dig down enough where you can get some kind of receptacle down in here to dip the water out with. There is a lot of stone in this, so it's not going to be easy digging by any means. There's a pretty big stone right there. Take in and get a good look at that. You can see the waves right here coming in. The water is literally just seeping through there. So we'll let that have a few minutes to settle, and I'll bring you back to it so you can see what it looks like. Okay, guys. We've got a good bit of this to finally settle down. Come in here and get you a much closer look at it. Still pretty murky, but It's definitely cleaner than what it was. I'd suppose it'd take a good 30, 40 more minutes for that to perfectly all settle down. But that very little top layer is nowhere near as dirty as it was. And like I said, you can add filtration to that with like a bandana, or if you happen to have a straw filter or even a Sawyer or something like that, it'd be great. That technique will help take a lot of turbidity out of your water. But we'll move on to a different function we can use this little shovel for, and I'll have to get everything set up and we'll get right back to it. Here's another good, nice thing to have a shovel in general, even if you have a bigger one than this, but help you manage your fires. And typically when I do any kind of cooking, if possible, I tend to like to gather up coals. Then I'll put whatever I happen to be cooking on. Let's see, that should be in frame. All right. That way, typically it keeps getting a lot of soot and stuff on the side walls of your containers. And you can see, hopefully you can see the moisture it's left over in this old rusted out cast iron skillet. It's already steaming just from the little bit of coals I raked underneath of it there. So that is definitely a very handy use for a shovel. And as far as work prepping goes, you can also take a little longer because it's a bit smaller, but you can also dig a Dakota fire pit with this too. So keep that in mind. But it's nice to have something like this to just simply, if necessary, just transfer coals or just shove them over like I just did for this frying pan. Well, guys, hopefully that kind of helped you out a little bit. If anybody's wondering about having a digging tool with them. Like I said, there's multiple options out there. I'll definitely be looking at other digging implements in the near future. I just wanted to start that out with something a little small and compact that's easier to carry. And like I said, I actually really like this little shovel. This one usually hangs around my Maxpedition Fat Max. That's what I'm using right now, just for my quick, small, lighter weight kind of go bag. Like I said, this specific one, I don't know how easy that this will be for anybody to find, depending on if your local Walmart still carries it, but you can still go to hardware stores and get pretty good trowels, which, you know, pretty much what this is. So appreciate everybody viewing. Thank you for all the likes and subscribes. Starting to get a good bit more subscribers. Won't be too much longer. We should be hitting 400. So I thank you all very much for subscribing, and I'll see you all in another video.